Welcome back, Heroclix fans. Today I have another unboxing. Today I'm going to review and unbox Marvel Heroclix Thor: The Dark World 6-figure starter set. So let's get started. This is the cover and the 6 figures. There's a map, there's some rules in there, and it's a starter set, so if you're looking to get, into the game, this is a good starting point. Let's take a look at the back. Here in the back, you get the contents. You have the 6 figures to the side, 6 figures, cards, tokens, rule books, double-sided map, and 2 small dice. So here we have it all unboxed. As you can see here, we have a 2013 core rule book. We have a powers and ability card. This is the new updated one with all the pink powers. Then we have the barrier, smoke, and special and object tokens. Then over to the side here, we have our 6 character cards. Off the screen, we have a double-sided map. Looks really cool. We'll take a look at it after we take a look at the figures. And straight back there, we have a Thor: The Dark World scenario guide. There's actually 3 different scenarios, so that's kind of cool. It seems like they've been adding a little bit more like that. They kind of started, I believe, with the Lord of the Rings sets. I don't know if they've done it before the Lord of the Rings, but I know they definitely have been doing it with the Lord of the Rings starter sets and stuff. So that's really cool. Really excited about these. And we're going to go and take a look at each one of the dials, give a little bit about their powers, and give you a review. So far, I really like it. So here's the sculpt for Thor, and you get a good idea. That's what he looks like in the normal complete set here. So this is our dial. Like I said, 175 points to start off with, or there's a 100-point dial. So we have a special movement power. Thor can use charge when he can use it normally, or he can be given an action to use charge. If he moves in a direct line, he can ignore characters for movement. After the action is resolved, each character occupying a square that Thor moved through is dealt 1 damage. Assigned an action token, and you may place it in an adjacent square to their current position. Kind of like you moved them out of the way, dealt them damage, and a token. That is incredible, but you have to be given action for that to use charge, and it has to be within a direct line of movement. So that's pretty good. 8 range, single target, flyer, in dom, 11 attack. You see there's charge, and there's 18 impervious. I don't know if you can see it, but 18 impervious for damage. We also have other powers. We have run and shot, like I said, quake, super strength, impervious, invulnerability, toughness, empower, enhancement, and exploit weakness. And he has the Avengers Initiative TA, which allows you to see through stealth and ignore hindrance for movement purposes. Okay, so let's take a look at his special attack power that's not on the dial right now. Thor can use energy explosion when he is given a ranged combat action. You may lock his damage value, and if you do, all hit characters are also given an action token. So this is a pretty cool Thor. Let's take a look at the 100-point dial. So this is the starting point value for the 100 points. This is run and shot, the special power with energy explosion, and impervious. That's not bad for 100 points, and I'm pretty happy with this Thor. And Thor. Malekith. Now we have 100 points here, and we got a special movement, Force Blast and Sidestep, which he actually starts there with it. You can see there. Let's tilt this down just a tad. Got a special movement, Force Blast and Sidestep. He's got a trait. When he is dealt damage and the attacker rolled a d6 for blades for the attack, damage dealt can't be reduced below 1. So that's pretty interesting. And let's see other powers. We have Phase In, Super Strength, Psychic Blast, Pulse Wave, Invulnerability, Toughness, Regen, Shape Change, and he has a special damage of Mastermind, Shape Change, and Super Senses, which is pretty incredible for a 100-point character. I like this one quite a bit as well. Like, here's an example of his last click with that Super Senses, Mastermind, and Shape Change. All on that last click there with Pulse Wave, Phase In, and Regeneration. That's pretty cool for a 100-point character right there. And we have Sif. Ignores characters as improved movement, charge, flurry, sidestep, blades, precision strike, invulnerability, combat reflexes, toughness, battle fury, and exploit weakness. As you see here, pretty straightforward. 75 points, no range. And starting out, we have charge, blades, and invulnerability. Blades of 10, 2 damage. 2 damage is fine with blades because you're just going to roll blades. I like it. Standard figure for 75 points. I like her. Quick turn of the dial on Sif. She's really tight. And our final figure in the set is Curse, which is one of the figures probably a lot of people are trying to collect out of the whole set. But here you can get it out of the starter set. It's a different dial, but it's still not terrible. And let's take a look at it. So 150 points we have in Dom, so that's kind of nice. We have a trait. The trait is Curse defense powers can't be countered. Well, that's always very nice. As you see here, he starts off with super strength and invincible. Invincible reduces half of the damage dealt to you, rounded up. Very good. So then we also have a special movement power. Let's take a look at that. During your first turn, choose an opposing character. Curse can use charge. He can choose to use it normally, or he may choose to not have his speed value for that charge, but may then only make close combat attacks against the chosen opposing character during that action. So that is pretty cool. If you want to use charge on anyone, then you can use charge. Pretty simple. Now, if you want to charge on the character you chose in the beginning of the game, then you can use your full movement charge, which is an 8. That is really, really good. So you won't be able to switch up the full movement charge on only the character you choose. So not bad at all. We have charge also on the dial, super strength as you see, invincible as you see, impervious, and invulnerability. So it looks like a very straightforward dial, but for 150 points, it's a solid brick. And let's take a look through the dial real quick. There's our impervious. And that's a pretty solid brick, wouldn't you say? And that's all he's good for, is just beating up people in close combat and taking it to him. Here we have Loki for 100 points. Some powers we're going to see on the dial: Phasing, Stealth, Charge, Psychic Blast, Incap, Blades, Invulnerability, Perplex, Outwit, and Battle Fury. As you see here, we start off with Phasing and Perplex, and we have a special defense power. Loki can use Shape Change and Toughness. When he uses Shape Change and succeeds, Loki may be placed in a square of hindering terrain within 3 squares in line of fire. If the attack was a close combat attack, the attacker's action resolves immediately. What that means is, if it's a close combat attack and you try to target Loki and he rolls Shape Change, even if there's another adjacent character where that opponent could attack, this card says action resolves immediately, meaning they will not get the option to attack that other adjacent character. So that is really, really cool. What else can I say? I mean, it's nothing super spectacular, but with the Perplex, you could perplex up your defense for 18. You got toughness a little bit. Let's see a little bit more of the dial here. We have Psychic Blast. So then we have our invulnerability, stealth, outwit, invulnerability, naked. So 8 clicks for 100 points, so that's not terrible. This is a pretty solid Loki. It's not going to win any awards, but it's not a bad Loki, and it is playable. We have the Dark Elf Scout. Powers we're going to look on this dial: Stealth, Earthbound, not a power you really want, Incap, Super Senses, Willpower, and Shape Change. It also has a minion damage power, as you can see there. If a friendly character named Malekith is within 8 squares, Dark Elf Scout can use enhancement. Alright, that's pretty cool because he has a 6 range and this one has a 5 range, so they're a little bit of a ranged attack. And he has a special attack power. Opposing characters hit by the Dark Elf Scout ranged combat attack can't use the flight ability until your next turn. So if he hits a character, then that character cannot use the flight ability. So that is pretty cool. Has to be off of a ranged attack, not a close combat. But I'll buy it. For a stealth character, popping shots, not terrible. It's actually pretty good. starting click of super senses as well, so not too bad. I want to get a little idea of what we got here. Right. Yeah, pretty basic. Look at the maps here, and I like this map quite a bit. Don't ask me how to pronounce the name of this map, it's pretty crazy, but it's an outdoor map. And as you see here, we have elevated terrain on each side of the corners, and it actually looks like, no, it's not. I thought maybe it'd be 4 starting areas, but it's actually just starting area there, and then over here the other opposite ends are not starting areas. I guess you could use them as starting areas for like selected tournaments with friends and stuff, but for, you know, one-on-one play, you just opposite sides. But there's a lot of hindering terrain in the middle. This actually looks like a perfect map for the Loki in this set. If he hits his shape change, he can move 3 squares into hindering terrain. It looks perfect for that. I mean, almost anywhere Loki is in hindering, he can bounce into another square of hindering. That's really cool. And if you blow out some other walls here, there's more hindering. That's actually really, really cool. I like it. It looks pretty symmetrical. You know, it's the same thing on each side. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look on the other side. Alright, so this is the Royal Navy Academy outdoor map as well. Looks like we're actually in Asgard, or Asgardian, you know, so that's pretty cool. We got the center portal, or where they take off. I'm not really sure. You hear my dog in the background. We're just going to ignore her. We can see we have starting areas over here, kind of split, and same over here, but it's not split. We got rubble here. It looks kind of like a war zone, and it's pretty cool. We have grounded, and then elevated up here, and then elevated over there. Also, kind of like the same thing on this, you know, each side is pretty much the same. I like this map as well. It's pretty basic though. Not, you know, I want to say not a ton of hindering, but I want to take that back because look at all this hindering here, all the hindering up there. But it's all the hindering is, you know, centrally in the center here. But hey, it's pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing review of the Thor Dark World starter set. I enjoy it. I recommend it. And yeah, take it easy guys and have a good night.